What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me for another one of my short form videos. This week, we are headed back to Dallas, Fort Worth area for the second tournament in 3 weeks. This is the Charles Schwab Challenge, better known as the Jordan Spieth Challenge for those that have been following the last 9 years, as he has not missed a cut or finished worse than 32nd, but he's not in our value picture at all this week. We're going to talk about 5 other golfers here on the short form video sponsored by Yahoo. If you guys haven't already signed up with them over on Yahoo, check out their PGA DFS contest. I've got a deal for you coming up in just a little bit, but want to make sure you also like and subscribe to our channel here. That's how you get notified about new content. Also, do you agree with some of these picks or even disagree? Let me know in the comment box below. We love to hear from you. So, all right, let's now jump in to our top picks here this week. And these are all based on Awesemo's PGA DFS projection value chart. Part of the PGA projections and also part of our Awesemo Plus package. So stay tuned. I've got a great deal for you coming up combined with Yahoo. So let's dive in. Redman. He's going to be the first golfer that I talk about. He's coming in all the way at $6,100 this week, the lowest price we've seen for him in quite some time. He's made the cut in each of the last 2 years here at this tournament. While he hasn't finished better than 58th, still 2 made cuts for $6,100. That is pretty solid return. So as we move on now to talk about his most recent form, well, it was going fairly well until recently. And he has missed the last couple of cuts, but coming to a course where he's made the cut each of the last 2 years should give him a little boost of confidence that he needs. Now we check into his strokes gain ranks and how he's doing in the year. He's 139th off the tee, 65th on the approach, 194 around the green, and 81st putting. Another reason why I like Redman here this week is we saw, if you guys check out my first cut article or my PGA DFS course and player preview here on the YouTube channel, I mentioned how little strokes gained around the green mattered here last year. So hopefully his worst statistical category ends up, again, not needing it that much this week. He's able to easily get through the cut. All right, now let's talk about Patton Kizzire, who has had an up and down season. Also had an up and down time here at Colonial Country Club. He came in third here last year, but missed the cut the year before. He was also in the news last week. While he made the cut, he had not great things to say about Southern Hills. In a now deleted Instagram post, he called it terrible golf on a overrated golf course. Again, check that out. It's circulating if you're interested to see it. Nonetheless, here to talk about Patton Kizzire. 75th and 83rd in his last 2 starts. Both of those are made cuts, not missed cuts, believe it or not. 75th at the PGA Championship, and then 83rd at the Wells Fargo. Biggest cuts of the year in back-to-back weeks. Kizzire made it through, but did not do much on the weekend. Still, he's got some pretty good strokes gain rank this season. 110th on the approach, off the tee. 44th on the approach, 128 around the green, and 91 putting. All right, now let's move up the board a little bit, and we're going to find Maverick McNealy, who's coming in at 7,500. He's the 5th best value, according to our Awesemo value rank here on our first run of projections. And at 7,500 for a guy that's played fairly good this year and fairly good at this golf course, 20th and 32nd in his last 2 years. This is one of the best values on the board, in my opinion. 75th and 32nd in the last 2 weeks. And he's got some fantastic strokes gain rank on top of his worst category being around the green. We already talked about how I don't think that's going to matter here this week. So let's check into his other ones. 32nd off the tee, 60th on the approach, 130 around the green, and 37th putting. So McNealy, a good spot for him, maybe to get his first PGA Tour win here this week. And only at $7,500, certainly should be a target in most of your lineups. Okay, now let's talk about Harold Varner, who's going to be my 4th guy, and the 6th best value according to our Awesemo value projections. And he's got some pretty good, solid history here at Colonial Country Club. 32nd and 19th in the last 2 years. He was in the picture for quite a bit last week before faltering off on Sunday. He came in 48th, but was in the top 20 for most of the week. Also had a lot of birdies out there. Played pretty good, just couldn't avoid the bogeys, or couldn't avoid as many bogeys as others did. As we take a look at his strokes gain rank, the only place he's struggled this year is off the tee. It's ranked 133rd, which is just about average. It means that he's basically not gaining or losing strokes off the tee in any given round. 53rd on the approach, 35th around the green, and 67th second putting, however, is some pretty good follow-up stats. All right, now my top end golfer that is the best rated value. This golfer, Daniel Berger, coming in at $9,000, is the second ranked golfer above $9,000 in salary this week on DraftKings, only behind Sung J M, who I felt may be a little bit more of a liability this week, given that he hasn't played golf in a little while. It's coming off of COVID, might be a little rusty, whereas Daniel Berger, well, he showed up last week at the PGA Championship and had his worst putting performance we've ever seen from him. So let's throw that out. Get him on a course where he's got some good history, 20th and 1st in the last 2 years. You've got a recipe for a good bounce back week. So for Berger, let's take into his strokes gained rank, why people love him. He's 45th off the tee, 9th on the approach, 36 around the green, and 56th putting. Again, I'll take Collin Morikawa anytime over Daniel Berger, but at $9,000 and Morikawa probably $1,500 or more, you've got to take an eye on Daniel Berger this week. So let's go 5-1 again before I tell you about Yahoo. Redman, Kizzire, McNealy, Varner, those are your top 5 values. Now, let's give a shout out to our sponsor here, Yahoo, who continues to up their game in the PGA DFS realm, giving more and more contests each week, bumping up the first place prize for their biggest to $5,000. And if you haven't checked them out now, well, or haven't yet, I should say, now is the time to do so. You're going to get a free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. That's correct, a free month just for signing up, making your first deposit, and playing in your first paid contest. It's going to give you a free month. That'll take you through the U.S. Open, certainly take you through close to the NBA Finals, and so much more. MLB, F1, we've got it all going on. So join us here on the Awesemo Plus site. Take advantage of that deal. And until next time, everybody, Eric Lindquist, Ben Raza on the airwaves today. I'm doing this at about 10:30 on Tuesday from the old Key West Resort at Disney World. And they will be on the airwaves today from hopefully their homes. And then I'll be on the airwave with Ben Raza back at my home tomorrow night for Live Before Lock. So until then, everybody, good luck this week at the Charles Schwab Challenge, and we will see you on the other side. Cheers.